Hi, I'm Angela, and today I'm going to show you a little bit about what I call the dark side of the scales. That would be the ones that start on black notes. We're going to do today B flat, E flat, A flat, and D flat. So 4 of the 5 black key scales, which is pretty exciting, but also a little intimidating for a lot of people. I call them the dark side for a reason. They are slightly evil because they are just a completely different fingering pattern than everything we've learned so far. So if you've been along for the ride, we've done all 7 of our white key major scales so far. We did the B major scale, 5 sharps, E major, 4 sharps, A major, 3 sharps, D major, 2 sharps, G major, 1 sharp, C major, 0 sharps, and then we started with our flats. The last scale we did was the F major scale with 1 flat, B flat. And remember that pattern was B, E, A, D, G, C, F. Now what's going to be down a 5th from F? Well, again, you'd think it might be B, but your ear can tell you that that is incorrect. Instead, B flat is next in the pattern. So the B flat scale is the scale that's going to have 2 flats, and the flats it has are B flat and E flat. After the B flat scale, it's going to be the E flat scale, which has 3 flats. Then it's going to be the A flat scale, which has 4 flats, and then it's going to be the D flat scale, which has 5 flats. Now, in our last lesson, I asked you to remember a set of 7 letters in order: B, E, A, D, G, C, F. And I hope that you have remembered those, because in addition to being the order of the scales, we're going to do that B, E, A, D, G, C, F. It's also the order of the flats. So we do the B flat scale, and then we do the E flat scale, and then we do the A flat scale, and then we do the D flat scale. It's also the order of the flats within those scales. So the B flat scale, which has 2 flats, has B flat and E flat. The E flat scale, which has 3 flats, B flat, E flat, A flat. A scale that has 5 flats would have B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, and G flat. So knowing those 7 letters in order, B, E, A, D, G, C, F, being able to rattle them off and just knowing them off the top of your head is super helpful when it comes to the flat key signatures and knowing what to do on the dark side of the scale. Now, I am going to share with you some tips and tricks for the dark side of the scale. When I first learned these scales, I was looking at them in a book, and I could not for the life of me find a pattern, but it's much easier to see when you're looking at them on the piano. Now, you may recall from last lesson that we're going to try to avoid putting the thumb or the pinky on a black note. That's because thumb and pinky are the shortest fingers, and black notes are the shortest notes. And so if we try to reach them with our thumb and pinky, it's very awkward. So that means for something like the B flat scale, which is going to start on B flat and end on B flat, the regular fingering is just right out. Take a look. If we try the regular fingering, we end up with thumb on B flat and then thumb on B flat again. Oh my gosh, super awkward. And then the pinky on B flat. Ay, ay, ay. So we've just done all the things that we are not supposed to do. And it feels very, very weird. If you try it for yourself, you'll feel that too. So we have a different fingering that we use for the dark side scales, the ones that start on a black key. And the fingering for right hand goes like this. You're gonna start with finger 2. After you play your black key, or black keys, depending on the scale you're doing, you're gonna play the thumb. Then you go until you hit another black key, and after the black key, you play the thumb. I'm gonna show this to you on all the dark side scales that we're doing today, just so you can get the pattern. So for B flat, key of B flat, remember we're gonna be using 2 flats. They are B flat, E flat. And so that's gonna go. Now, I'll give you the finger numbers, but please don't repeat my mistakes. Don't try to memorize these finger numbers. Memorize the pattern instead, which is after you play the black key, then you play the thumb, okay? Here's the finger numbers. It's 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. And of course, on the way back down, we all Next up, we have the key of E flat. E flat has 3 flats, and if you remember those letters, you'll be able to know what 3 flats they are. Remember, B, E, A, D, G, C, F. So the flats are B flat, E flat, A flat for the key of E flat. So for the key of E flat, again, we start with the finger 2, and that's on a black note. So after that, we play the thumb. Thumb always goes after a black note. Then we have 2 black notes in a row, the A flat and B flat. Then we play the thumb. And again, coming down, we use the same fingers as we did going up. So E flat is 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. All right, thinking about it, what's next? Remember, B, E, A flat is next. And A flat's gonna have 4 flats. What are they? Well, they are B flat, E flat, A flat, and D flat. 4 flats. So for the key of A flat, we're gonna be starting again with finger 2. We play our flats. In this case, there's 2 of them, A flat and B flat right there in a row. And after we play our black keys, what do? We play the thumb. Now we have 2 more flats, and then the thumb again. Coming down, we use the same fingers as on the way up. So that's 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2. But remember, please do not try to memorize the finger numbers. Memorize the pattern instead. After the black key, we play the thumb. Got it? Lastly, after A flat comes B, E, A, D flat. D flat is going to have 5 flats. And similar to the key of B, that's actually really nice because it's all the black keys that they are, but still good to practice using those 7 letters. So the 5 flats we're going to use are B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, and G flat. All 5 of the visible flats that we see. So starting on D flat, again, we start with finger 2. Again, after we finish our white keys, we put the thumb. Then we've got 3 more black keys to play, and guess what? After that, we put the thumb. Going down, we use the same fingers as we did going up. So that is 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2. And those are our dark side scales that we're talking about today: B flat, E flat, A flat, and D flat. Now, I want you to think back to when you very first learned the C scale and how challenging it may have been at first to learn those fingerings, hands separately, and then even more challenging to put them together. Consider that you're starting again here on the dark side. Imagine for B flat, even though it just sounds just like a regular major scale, it feels very different. So imagine that you're starting back from the beginning and be patient with yourself as your fingers learn these fingerings, okay? Even more patient when you try to put them hands together. This is not a 1-week process, especially if you're trying to do all 4 of these scales. It definitely will take multiple weeks. Please go slow. Remember that we're trying to build muscle memory, and that means playing it many times correctly. Don't just stumble through and sloppily do it, because then your fingers will pick up bad habits, and that's the last thing you want. Now, all that being said, the great news is that the left hand for this side, for the dark side fingering, is much easier than the right hand. It actually does have a pattern. Thank goodness. So the left hand pattern is pretty simple. It goes like this. We're gonna start with finger 3, and then when it's time to flip, we flip to finger 4. Start with 3, flip to 4, and that's true on all of these scales. So, just as a refresher for how these scales work, first we do B flat, which has 2 flats, B and E. So we start with 3, we flip to 4. On the way down, of course, it's the same as on the way up. Next up, we have the key of E flat, 3 flats, B, E, A. So we start with 3, and we flip to 4. Next up, we have the A flat scale. It's going to have B flat, E flat, A flat, and D flat, 4 flats. Again, we start with 3, flip at the end, but we just flipped a 2 there, or 3 or 4. It really doesn't matter, whatever feels comfortable to you. We start with 3, we flip to 4. And then lastly, D flat, which remember has all of the visible flats. Again, we start with 3, and we flip to 4. Please, just as when you were learning the C scale originally, try to teach this to each hand separately. Make sure both hands are very confident and that you've got some muscle memory built, that you can do it without looking and without having to think about it too much before you start trying to put the hands together. If you're at this point where you're having to really think about it and think about your notes really hard, you're not ready to put them together yet. Be patient. It takes time to build this, but the great news is that once you learn it, you know it. It's not like there's going to be more scales that are invented later. These are it. There are 12 total, and congratulations, you now know 11 of them. In our next lesson, I'll be showing you our last scale and how all of these come together to make what we call the circle of fifths. See you then. Bye.